months before, but she didn't even know it. She had Alzheimer's. She never missed him, never. She just said, I'm ready, come and get me, Paul. She died. I mean, I wasn't there, it was my morning. Strange things happen.
They really do.
Pardon me?
Can we go ahead and start?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just do it without Nicole.
What time is that gal supposed to be here? Isn't that gal coming from?
We haven't started yet. No, we're not going to have a meeting today. We're not going to have a meeting today. It's postponed. And so we're going to pick that up at some later date.
Our meeting is postponed?
No, the regular meeting.
We're going to have a regular meeting today.
Okay.
But we're not going to have.
Becky said we should be able to add it to our agenda. We just couldn't make a motion on it.
On what?
Is the woman here?
On the planning session.
We need a 24-hour in advance announcement if it is to occur today.
Oh.
Yeah, and it just doesn't happen. So.
Well, I thought that gal from Dubuque was coming.
Yeah, she is. And I just talked to her, and she said we could look it up in the trustee handbook.
But is she in
Talk to her.
town? Is she here?
She'll be here in half an hour.
Okay.
Oh, she says we could look it up in the trustee handbook, or we could call Amy. But she said what we could do is at the planning, after we start the meeting, add the planning session to our agenda. And as long as we don't
Why can't we just do our meeting and then close the meeting?
Because it's a quorum.
We have a quorum. We cannot have any kind of a meeting where we plan or strategize about the future direction of the library unless it is announced at least 24 hours in advance. And that is the sunshine law issues. And so since it's not announced, there is, I don't think any way around that right now.
Well,
I've spoken with the city manager. I think that there's been communication with the
city attorney,
and I don't think
he wasn't given that option either.
I would prefer we start the meeting before we...
And they're saying, and this is, and so prior to starting the meeting,
Okay.
we're just saying that this is...
I just wasn't privy to that.
And so we need to figure out the direction for the future, in the future, and make sure that, and if we want to talk about this during the meeting, that's fine. I will take partial responsibility for not having thoroughly reviewed the agenda when it was delivered on Thursday. We had plenty of time, but this just sort of came up. So at any rate, it is well past 4, so let's get started.
10 minutes after.
And I think we can still start a meeting at this time, 10 minutes after, and so let's officially start our October 18th Public Library Board of Trustees meeting, and begin with a roll call, please.
Alsop,
Present.
Bishop, Present. Collins,
Here.
Comfort, Barber, Ireland,
Present.
Pasevich,
Yes.
Rothfuss,
Present.
Sitzma.
Thank you, and we'll move to approval of the September meeting minutes.
Also move.
Second.
Okay, any discussion of any content of those minutes?
Yeah, I had, in that previous meeting, I had once again requested the statistics for the constant contact. And I know that was, in the minutes it stated that I wanted them again. Well, I have never got them, so I would like that corrected.
And for clarification, what specifically are you requesting?
The data on how that particular piece of software is working for us.
Okay, a piece of software, okay.
Yeah.
May I just ask a quick question?
You bet.
Because I guess what I was thinking, and maybe I didn't reflect it correctly, was that it was the second time you had asked.
That was the second time I had asked.
So that's why I put again that you had asked for them again.
Okay, maybe it's just a wording.
So, yeah, so that's what I was thinking, was it was not the first time you had asked.
Mm-hmm.
not that you had received them. So, but I can certainly reward that.
I appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay. Anything else, anything further on that, the content of last month's minutes? Okay, so all in favor of approval of minutes, signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Any board correspondence, public input, friends report, anything?
No, I thought our friend Ray was going to be here tonight, so I'm surprised he hasn't shown. He was going to go over the reading garden with us.
Also, in the minutes, and we talked about at the last meeting, you said someone from the teen advisory would be here, the teen advisory board.
I said I would look into that.
So, will they be invited?
Yes,
Was anyone?
the teen advisory's not met yet.
How frequently does that group meet?
Once a month.
Oh, okay. They haven't met because of the fact that this is not a regularly scheduled.
Right.
Okay. I did receive a little bit of public input, I guess, and this just sort of happened. I mean, but it deals with the annual AAUP book sale, and there was some really good comments about the library and the library's help in putting that together a few weeks ago. I guess it was held annually here in the mall, so I think it was a good success. Are you part of that group, or?
No, but I have a friend that's real involved in it. They didn't
Okay.
have quite as much material to sell, and they made a good amount. She told me the amount wasn't quite as much, but was still a goodly amount.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought it was a neat little piece of news, from somebody out there in the public on that. Anything else? Okay, director's report, please.
As I have reported, Chandy Molesky has accepted the position as youth services librarian, and her expected start date is next Monday. She does have her master's degree in library science with a focus in youth services. She is currently in Illinois, and she is working part-time at another library, but she was very excited to be coming to Oskaloosa. She had received an offer at another library, but chose Oskaloosa over the other library. The paranormal program was a success. We ended up having to, at the last minute, get another presenter because our paranormal presenters, for some reason, thought that the public wasn't going to be involved, even after several emails back and forth saying that they were going to be answering questions with the public and showing their equipment off. So I'm not sure what the miscommunication there was about. This coming Sunday, I will be reading Stone Soup at the mall as part of the Mahaska Health Partnership. They're going to be raising food for the local food pantry by taking donations, and then they'll actually be serving a version of Stone Soup, so that'll be kind of fun.
They're also going to be building something.
And they're going to be building something, yeah, so you can go along
with the
yep,
donated.
with the donated food. Yep. So you can go around and look at those. I received a letter that the Susan J. Zayek Fund, because of the low amount of money that's left, is going to be distributed to all of the different beneficiaries. So we'll be receiving about $5,000 in that. And then, as was mentioned last time, and didn't make my board report because I'd already sent out the report before the money came in, we are getting a $20,000 check, and that will go towards large print. So I'm looking into a kind of standing order plan where they'll send you bestsellers and mysteries every month. Because I know we have a lot of mystery readers and a lot of people wanting new releases, but in large print. So that'll help us keep up in that collection.
Is that from the Women's Club?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that was from the Women's Club.
Is that it?
That's it.
Any questions, comments on any of that, folks?
What was the salary you hired the youth librarian at?
It was the one that we advertised at. It was about $32,000. So it was the lowest rate. She's just out of college.
Anything else? Okay, committee reports. I think that's where we are, aren't we?
Yes.
Staff,
No report, she's already gave it.
okay. Budget and finance, we met, and we met in reference specifically this time to Rose Hill. And the Rose Hill contract with the Oskaloosa Public Library. And right now, we don't have anything that we're going to look at in terms of new business. So we're in kind of a fact-finding mode on this still. One of the things that had happened was that in the last meeting, I believe it was, Nicole was asked to see what other libraries are doing, and she threw out a line and found that there were 2 libraries that were actually charging the rural, nearby communities. And one of them got back, and that was Washington, right? And what Washington does is something a little different than what we do. They sort of look at, they have an equation that takes kind of the valued, tax valued property and then multiplies that by, it's like 43.5 cents or something like this. And where that number comes from, we don't exactly know, but they use that type of a formula to sort of indicate what, I'm looking for this paper that I just had, but they use that to indicate what, how much, so 46.5 cents times valuation, the taxable valuation. And then that's what's charged to the various communities. And so, it's the same rate, but different communities are paying obviously different dollars and cents on that.
So I'm not understanding that. They're taking the overall value of the property,
Yeah.
of properties.
Yep. It's weird.
Property in the other smaller communities?
Yeah. The formula is 46.5 cents per $1,000 taxable
Okay, per thousand.
valuation
All right,
as
that makes more
reported.
sense.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And so, and then that's just extended to each of the communities that are served by that library. That's very different than what we do, but then what Nicole found, that what we do has been different at different times. And so the earliest iteration that Nicole found was that we were looking at basically charging per basically per usage. I mean, and so the way that works is taking the entire overhead, what's the budget for operating costs, and what does it cost to process one item, and so how many items are being charged out of, for example, Rose Hill, and then multiplying that out and extending that type of that sounds like a kind of a good way to go. What we're doing right now is a little confusing because there's this weird base, and it's a base right now of like 1,500, or what was that?
Well, it started out at,
It was 13.
it was 1,300. Right now
Yeah.
it's 18.
It's 18 now. That's the new calculation,
That's the new
right?
calculation, yeah.
And we don't know where this base ever came from. We couldn't figure this out at all. So it's a base, and then you add to this base a certain percentage. It's really a complex thing. So to cut to the chase on this, basically what we're going to do is look to see what other libraries are doing statewide, not just the kind of handful that we had indicated last time, because many of the ones that we had indicated apparently are, again, charging local communities and all. And then-
That's what I wondered, because
Yeah, I wondered that too.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but, you know, I would think that it would be a hardship a lot for Rose Hill.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it because I've sold a lot of houses out in that area.
The fascinating thing is that it comes down to 13 consumers, 13 patrons.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so it's, 13 patrons, and one or two are kind of monopolizing all the,
Right.
so it's like one or two people borrowing all this stuff, okay? And everyone else in Rose Hill either
Is having to pay
using it
for
or
it.
they're just
Yeah.
using it.
See, and I just so see that.
See, that's why I actually like the valuation formula, because if the community has a better, I mean, they have more wealth there, then their land values are going to be so, and they're going to have a better tax base. But a place like Rose Hill that has little,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with people having skin in the game,
And that
so to
might
speak.
work, and we're wanting to compare these numbers that we see, and we're wanting to compare these different approaches to kind of see it, along with seeing what other libraries do.
But,
Have we met, actually sat down with Rose Hill, with the whoever?
Maybe.
or maybe their city
Council.
clerk could come and join us at a meeting and kind of.
My understanding of this is that right now Rose Hill is with us for this year. And so that's not an issue. The issue becomes what happens next
After,
year.
yeah.
Right, and so,
Well, they're still debating whether they want to be with us or not this year.
What is it actually?
but you had, I thought it said that they had actually sent the check.
What are they actually
They sent
paying
the check
us?
What are they
for last
What was the
fiscal
check
year.
for?
What are they what?
What do they send
Are
us?
they actually?
They sent us
paying
the
library?
check that we billed them for.
Right, and how much
last
was that?
fiscal year.
Yeah, I forgot.
That was.
1,625.
Yeah.
It's a lot for a little town.
I think
though.
But they
Yeah.
didn't give us notice that they weren't renewing
Yeah.
their contract.
But if there's
with us
only
for
a
this
few
year.
people using it, I see why they're
That's
willing.
true.
Yeah, we
Right.
don't want to be
Yeah.
jerks.
And as the rural representative, I expressed this last meeting, that's a significant amount of money for
You're
many.
the rural rep,
Yeah.
you're
I
the
am.
rep for,
I am.
for Rose Hill?
No, I'm the rural rep, so I represent any of the
We're
smaller
all-
communities.
We have to live in the city, and there has to be one person on
Oh,
the board
okay, I
that's
understand.
country folk. Two people.
Two,
Who else?
Judy's.
Me.
Okay,
Yeah,
Judy.
I knew Judy was,
Country
but I
folk
didn't know
here.
you were.
So,
I knew I picked a good spot.
I don't know, I think to me, it troubles me, the premise of a free library. That's a lot of money for a little town, for a couple people that are using.
Well, but it's a lot of money
I
it's a
know.
lot of money for Oskaloosa, it's a lot of money for the county. It's,
yeah.
I guess.
And that's why I say I don't have a problem with there being skin in the game. I think we just have to find a way
Right.
to make sure that it's,
So right now,
Well, that's why we're trying to look at
right
some
now
of
we're
these
fact
other.
finding, we're
Otherwise
looking at
Oskaloosa
some of
carries
the
the load.
options, and we're wanting to get
Otherwise,
what's going to be
Oskaloosa carries the
fair
load.
and not to.
Have they
try
made
to-
any suggestions on their own of what they
Well,
feel
sure,
like fair
yeah.
would be?
Well,
One
they
small
say,
town with
sure,
two
why don't you come
counties
down to this
giving us
number?
money.
But, if they're saying that, then who's to stop the next guy?
Right, I understand.
So
I understand. I
that's
just
the
wondered,
issue.
yeah, because, I mean, I really,
we discussed that as a city council too, when I was on the city council, was Eddyville's next door,
Right,
you know?
yeah, and I remember.
yes, but
I remember
Eddyville
Beacon
isn't
Hill.
probably gonna,
Yeah, but all it has to do is be a member library with a
That's
share,
right.
with a,
And then they can come here.
and then they can come here. So,
Well, I think we're all on the same page. We just
So
need
we
to.
just
We
need
need
to.
more.
keep
yeah, I'd
going.
like to
We're
see
gonna
them
get
be
some
able to
more
stay with
information.
us, but I
We
don't
need
know
a
what
lot
the
more
answer
So
is.
that's
That's
the
the-
basic.
Yeah,
One of the
that's the tough
problems
part.
is that we have an unusual situation with so many little towns.
Yeah.
And especially of our size. So, because I know Story County has lots of little towns, but Story County's a lot bigger population, but we should still look into that.
And I still also remember that a lot of those communities that are right nearby also come to Oskaloosa and spend their tax dollars or their dollars here. So we do benefit
Yes.
from that as well. So
Yes.
I think we do need to remember that.
There's a lot of considerations.
Yeah,
I think we-
I agree with that, Ken. I mean,
I think we have to look too at what the county's wanting to do. I mean, as a result of these kind of shrinking capabilities of some of the small towns.
And budget time's coming, and we may need to get this in a hurry so we can present something to the Board of Supervisors.
Absolutely. So we're fact finding on this, and this is gonna, hopefully we have something.
Yeah, because we have 2 meetings before budget
Some
time.
programs to be offering at the next meeting. And let me see, I think that was about it in terms of anything to report on the Budget and Finance Committee. Was there anything else?
Nope, I don't think there's anything else.
Right, policy and planning,
No report.
technology,
Nothing.
and building and grounds. Chris is not here.
was the meeting last night?
We
Did
met.
you guys have it yesterday? It was.
We met yesterday.
Okay.
Who was there? Me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, Chris wasn't there either?
Chris was there.
Chris was there.
Okay,
He's not
I was
here.
gonna say,
And so
I
was
got a
ready
chance
for
to
this?
see my
I brought
sis,
some
so I
stuff
went.
on this, but let me see. So, what did we talk about?
A lot.
Yes,
Uh-oh.
there were many things. This is from today, all this. So, so one of the issues, although this isn't the latest, is it?
Maybe the downspout?
Yeah, did I have that? So we were looking at downspouts. And I don't know if, or who is aware, but we were having some problems with some of the runoff. It's kind of a secondary flow off the roof. And when we get anything that's a moderate or greater sort of rain, these secondary flow units end up being the receptacles of a lot of runoff water. And this
That's
runoff,
part of what's causing the humidity issues, which is causing the electric bills to be so high.
yeah.
We talked about this the last
Yep.
meeting.
Yeah.
And so, for example, downstairs in the entryway, those vented areas were filled with water as a result of all that. So the way to navigate around that is to be able to kind of direct that water elsewhere. And so we were looking at the possibility of Cunningham coming in and installing these downspouts that would match nicely, or the coloration would be fine. Maybe outside, and it would just sort of direct the water into and under kind of the existing shrubbery, which then would go from there and trickle off into the sidewalk and do its thing.
Wow,
from there.
have you seen the water come out of that thing?
I think there was gonna be a grate though involved too.
There's
Yeah.
gonna have to be, I mean, it can't just
Yeah.
come down and out onto the sidewalk.
No, because then if it freezes.
Yeah,
Right, they had.
I mean, a lot of water, I've seen water shoot out of there like crazy when it rains hard. So I'm just saying, I mean, it can't
They had
just,
somebody from the city come look at it too, to make sure
Okay,
it was gonna
alright.
be okay, but they were gonna put a grate into. They
okay.
were gonna have it come down behind the bushes, go into a grate, and then they had somebody from the city come look at it to make sure that it was gonna
Dispense out and
dispense
not,
properly, and
okay.
not just
As long as
shoot
it'll
across
dispense and
the-
not just shoot out into the,
Right.
Yeah.
to the
Yeah, they had
sidewalk.
somebody else come look
Okay,
at it to
all
make
right.
sure that it was gonna do that, and so that it wouldn't totally come out also in the winter and create a big icy patch.
Yeah, see, that's, I can just picture a big ice
Yeah.
skating right
Yeah.
there if they shoot it out there.
Yeah.
You can work with the chamber and sell tickets.
Totally
Yeah.
Tickets,
That
yeah.
might be a good idea. We could make enough money that
Yeah.
Rose Hill could use.
Yeah, there you go. Sell hot cocoa on there.
And so the cost on that was, what was that? anyway, that's something that we're looking at, and it will come up as soon as next meeting is an item for action.
Well, shouldn't we consider getting it done before we start having sleet? Or is that a big?
Well, we think that right now is
Be all right.
fine because it's typically, it's when you get those kind of
It's more of the
monsoon.
rain.
So we
It's
have like
the
3 or
heavy
4 of
rains
these
and the-
big
it's
heavy.
the-
Yeah,
ones.
that's when it is. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
if we don't
think
get
we're
any
beyond
huge,
that
huge
right now.
rains,
We're all right.
Yeah.
It's more of the.
it'll probably be
rain.
okay. I'd say it'll probably
Yeah.
spring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And just to confirm, you're getting these quotes or getting these people, Cunningham is who's coming, is that correct? Is that what I
Right.
heard you say? And that's the only person you're having do estimates?
Well, they have to make, I believe
They
they
have
have
to
to
make
make
them.
it custom.
and to make them, not just anybody can do that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, because what it
Kelderman's
is
might be able to do
it's kind
that
of like
too.
an open
They've
I
done
don't
stuff.
think he'll
spout.
do that kind of work. I don't think he'll do that for us.
And the
Yeah,
fire
so-
department
I don't know.
has one.
There's a lot of that-
And they
a lot of
had
that kind of
Cunningham do
stuff.
it?
And they
We
had
still
Cunningham do
were,
it.
there was still the need to look into the whole historic building element of this and how we can,
Keep it.
how and if we can do this in keeping with whatever.
The historic,
Yeah.
right?
So, another thing that we looked at was the cracked bathroom.
Yeah,
had
the
some
toilet. I have
today.
that on an action item, but that can be removed from the action item for today.
Did we, and, okay,
Why would we remove it? I mean,
well,
Yeah, we're gonna investigate
When we
that
get
some
there,
more.
we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
No,
so
we'll discuss
anyway,
that
we'll
today,
talk
but we'll
about
talk
that
about
one.
that later.
Yep. And then Nicole looked into a camera system, and there's sort of 2 parts of this, and one is, so security camera with recording potential, with the recording capability rather, for outside, so
Over the
that
reading garden
the reading garden.
and back
area-
over the employee entrance too?
and the employee entrance as well,
Okay.
because we've been having more urinating problems to the point
Yeah,
where we're having,
people go down there and pee.
we're having a smell back there.
Ugh.
Are you sure it's not raccoons or something?
I asked that same thing, if it
Did
was
you?
animals, and
Yeah.
they said, no, it's human.
How'd you
Mike
test
told
it?
me, Calzaretta, he said
I don't
it's,
think we want to.
it's human.
He's an expert.
He finds beer cans and bottles and
We
stuff
found another vodka.
all over
Yeah.
around outside, and then, you know, they drink and then they got peed.
They used to happen in the day.
So what's the cost of
Yeah,
the
it
camera
did.
system?
So, good, so the cost is for outside, the total cost, and this includes everything from the mounting, the wiring, all the parts, is $4,561.
Oh.
That's outside. And then there's another element, and that would be looking at a camera for inside. And again, the issue is being able to catch on a film that's going to record, and we don't know yet exactly what the loop is.
A month.
In terms of, they said a month.
A month.
Okay, so it's going to hold a month.
So for inside, a video camera for inside?
To take the video cameras that are already inside and make them to actually record to something. Because
Oh.
we have had incidences on the inside that weren't recorded. And so we could put them on a jump drive and take them to the police.
Okay, how much is that?
$1,050.
How much?
1,000.
Oh, I thought you said 10,000. Oh,
We're getting there.
1,050.
And then.
I thought maybe outside it'd be more.
$250 for a monitor.
What
Can I make a
month is-
suggestion?
Of course, it's your meeting, sir.
No, well, what I would do is, and this would be me, because this seems to have been kind of a temporary problem with vandalism at the reading garden and the back door, is first of all, ask the police department kindly to make more patrols through the area.
Right.
Secondly,
And
what-
we've done that.
okay, and then secondly, game cameras or those types of cameras, which can be secured and mounted to various places, can be had really inexpensively. And those work really well. I know people that use them in that type of situation, and we're talking $300 or less. And they record, and you can't get in there unless you destroy the whole unit. So you can, it's night vision, daytime, it senses motion, it records the video.
Okay, and then those are mounted like where?
To a tree, a post, whatever you want to stick it on, and then it records that area.
What's
Why is
the,
this so expensive?
Can I go back a minute? I want to make sure I understand the prices that you're saying.
Yes.
You said everything, and I don't want to assume anything, but I would
Okay.
guess that there is a monthly fee associated with this, or is there just any time that we want to pull tape, there's a fee? There's no fees unless
Neither.
something is broken.
Right.
1 year parts and labor guarantee?
There's no contract that we sign. Nothing.
No, it's not like
It's not a service.
And I would say if we go that far, why don't we have it actually, if there was going to be a suggestion and we went that far, why not have it sent to the law center so the 911 operators can pop it up right there at the law center?
If we're going to that
Yeah,
extreme.
because I know, and they already handle the school systems cameras in such a fashion. There's other security cameras downtown that they can do so. So it would make sense to add the libraries to that. You might get a hold of Jamie Robinson from EMA and talk to him about that. So,
that would be good. I didn't.
And those gaming cameras,
those game cameras.
what are they called?
Yeah, game cameras.
Game cameras.
Yeah.
And
Deer
how-
hunters use
Yeah,
them.
deer
Okay.
hunters use them, those kinds of
My
things.
boy has some
I didn't know
of those.
game like game or game like game.
Yeah, so you walk by it and, you know, you might as well say
Yeah.
smile, you're
You
on
can
candid
tell
camera.
then,
I was gonna
you know,
say,
how
they
many
sound like
deer.
deer.
Right,
Yeah.
it
they're in
won't
a
make sense,
certain
and it
place.
seems a lot less expensive.
But how much time do those record?
Oh, lots.
Constantly, 24/7?
No, you walk in
Oh, no,
front
it's
of the camera.
motion. They're
Yeah.
Motion activated. So, I mean, I suppose it varies by model. So, I mean, all you really need is, oh, I got a picture of the person that was there.
Okay,
So-
but they need to be in a place where they can't take a ball back to them too.
Yeah, it's got to be the same thing with any other camera once they're discovered. I mean,
Yeah, but.
subterfuge
on
is the
them-
key.
Well, but this.
But-
Yeah, right.
But, okay.
But this is. This way you.
They
you can
can't
take the ball
destroy
back,
it.
You don't get it.
Yeah, you know who
Even
did it.
though they
With
destroyed
those
the
deer
camera.
things, yeah, you
Yeah,
don't know.
But if you don't know the
yeah.
camera's there, you're not going to know to.
Oh, well,
Right.
these kids aren't stupid. They know. They'll know.
If it's
Especially when
if
the
it's
first one's
mobile,
caught.
if it's mobile, so let's say you use it out in the reading garden, then you move it next door and you catch the guy that's using the back door to relieve himself. So, I mean,
On the other morning, it was between 7 and 8.
Yes, we did.
Because it
So-
wasn't there at 7 o'clock, and it was there when I went in at 8.
it was a long walk home.
Yeah.
So this was something that we talked about and then said that, you know,
That's
this would have to
sick.
come up sort of
Yeah.
for board discussion, but there's some good ideas, I think. And maybe we can look at some of the other options on this and see what happens with that. And that was about it on the building and grounds. Unfinished business, I see none. The agenda here, new business. A, approval to sell items in meeting room D.
All right.
I had a discussion with Mr. Schrock about making the ICN room into a more friendly meeting room. And I asked to see if a city auction or anything was coming up so we could get rid of some of the old tables that aren't very movable and stuff, so we could make it a little bit more like room AB, so it'd be better for rentals and whatnot. And he said there wasn't a city auction coming up, so I asked him about selling things on govdeals.com, and he said that that was okay with him to do that, so I wanted to bring it to you and see what you thought about that, if you thought that was okay to do. or if you had other suggestions.
Is
or
it
if
those
you wanted-
tables, those narrow tables in there and that stuff?
The study, yeah, the study tables and stuff in there.
And we don't really have a need for it anywhere else? Well, I'm just asking, I don't,
Not that I can think of. I think
Okay.
it would be nice to have more movable tables and stuff because we're having a lot of needs for more meetings in there, baby showers, different things like that. We've had to move people out of AB so they could have city council meetings and stuff in there. Whereas before we could put them in D, different things like that. Well, can you think of any other examples?
Usage.
Yeah.
Lots of times on Saturdays, we have wedding showers, baby showers, birthday parties. And in fact, on the 10th of December, I had a lady in today who was wanting to, it was her daughter's 3rd birthday, and they had the baby shower for the daughter and the daughter's 1st birthday here, and so they wanted to have the 3rd one. So I had to put her in D because baby was already reserved.
I can't remember, this may be a stupid question, do we charge for that?
No, because
Nope.
it's not for profit.
I
So I
move,
wanted to take the money from that and start, putting it towards new furniture.
I move that we
So how-
sell the items
Let's-
in meeting room D.
Second.
Okay, then there's discussion.
Yeah.
So, all right. I know that they also get rid of items via Craigslist and other things like that when they, like city vehicles and things like that. Maybe there would be a way that we could find somebody more locally, so if even if we utilized, because if you're asking for a price on Craigslist, you're not auctioning it off per se. You already have a set price, so maybe we could set a price and put it on our own social media for sale. Everybody else has pretty good luck with that stuff, doing that. So.
everybody but me.
Everybody but you? Well, I'm sorry, I'll have to show you how to do it sometime.
Well, maybe you can help me with that because I have no idea what to price it at.
I believe we've sold stuff before too. There's some interlibrary selling. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
No, I don't.
There is,
Yeah,
right?
there is.
So I think there's some site that might not be a bad idea where they have the same.
Yeah. But like I said, I have no idea what
Is there-
to even.
Is there a time frame you're looking at that you need this accomplished, and what would be the final cost for replacing that stuff, so that you can have chairs and tables and things like that? What's the end cost that you're looking at?
That I'd have to take a look at, but I was thinking about asking the foundation for that money.
Would you sell the chairs and everything in there?
The chairs are wooden, so I'd want to replace them with plastic.
Are they like these?
No, they're like really heavy.
These are pretty heavy.
Yeah, I just wonder about that library website where we might find,
Yeah.
trade with somebody.
Might even find something,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or if not trade, at least find something reasonable that we could use.
Right, keep the
Yeah.
cost down as much as we can.
Right.
The question?
Okay, we have a motion on the floor for approving to sell the items in meeting room D.
So did you want to amend that, Judy, so that it would include those instructions to utilize that website because otherwise the motion will be,
Friendly amendment, yes.
okay, and then I'll,
Seconded.
I'll,
I do.
Is
okay,
that okay with you?
Fine.
okay.
Okay, so the
Other-
final
Yeah, otherwise.
is to
Well,
sell locally
does
or
it-
to
do we
sell?
need do we need an amendment? I mean, it's just a.
Yeah, it's just an
it's a
amended
mo-
motion.
It's a motion to sell the items. So how they're sold.
How they're sold,
whatever
just,
is
yeah.
not-
Yeah, how they're s-
Discretionary.
It's not an issue.
Well, sure it was.
We want to make it an issue.
If-
Yeah.
If you want to make
Yeah.
it an
Yeah.
issue, that's fine.
Yeah, no, sure it was, because we wanted to keep the cost down, so as the
That's
motion
fine.
said right now,
Right.
so,
That's fine. Go
So-
ahead.
So the motion is to sell the
To-
items either locally or to other libraries?
using that service that,
Interlibrary
Craig's.
website.
mhm.
You know what I mentioned?
It's called Interlibrary.
That-
Okay.
So are we doing the locally part, or are we just doing?
We're just doing the
We're just doing the
interlibrary
interlibrary.
thing.
Library
Library.
website
Yep.
is gonna be the vehicle. right?
Correct.
All right. So, any further discussion? All in favor, signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Second new business item, approval of new toilet installation.
And we're gonna do further research on that, as we talked about in the building and grounds.
And so,
This is just an estimate then?
That was just an estimate, yeah.
So we need a motion to table it?
Yeah, we need a motion to table it. So I'll move that we table it.
Second.
okay, discussion, anything? All in favor of tabling this motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed?
Here's where it talks about, you can add that to the agenda.
The approval of claims,
I make a motion, we approve the claims.
I'll second.
Discussion?
discussion, claims. Does everyone have updated claims?
It says that, Nicole, you went to an ILA conference.
Yes,
I'm not doubting that you went.
yeah.
That
I
would
was
be
there
something
last
to
week.
fake. I just didn't know about that. So is that something that was discussed, or did that just pop up, or?
I didn't realize I needed to discuss it with anybody, I just went yearly at a time.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if it was part of your contract or not, that we would cover those expenses, or if it's historically
There
something
has-
that we've
It's
done.
always been, they have gone in years
Yes.
past, but
All of the libraries.
I
all
just
the
knew William
librarians
went,
did,
so-
except William did he? I don't think William did.
He went to other conferences,
Yeah.
but he did it on his
Yeah.
own dime,
The
because he
reason
was
that-
often.
That's fine, but there,
Right.
it does, she
I
does.
just wanted to know historically what.
Yes, historically, they've always gone.
Yeah.
May I speak to William?
Yeah.
If I might. The reason William did not go, he and Cindy were going to go, and he planned on 2 people. And then the last minute, Kylie said she was planning on going, so he stepped out and let Kylie go.
Yeah.
That's what that was, and
So
I know
that's
he
how
went to
come he
other
didn't
conferences, he was like
Okay.
a speaker sometimes and that kind of
Yeah.
thing, so he went to, yeah.
In
No,
the future, I'll be
it's-
happy to ask.
It moves around.
Oh,
No, I was just
asked.
verifying,
Yeah.
that's all.
Okay.
So, anything else? Any further discussion on claims? All in favor of approving claims, signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, good. President's remarks. I have one set of remarks, I guess, and that is that we had intended this evening to have a special meeting after this meeting, and it would have been a strategic planning meeting, looking at sort of some visioning for future direction of the library. We were going to be met with and sort of led by somebody from the state. And because of the fact that that notification was not included in this agenda, it is not proper at this time to go forth with that meeting at the conclusion of this meeting. What we really need to do is to set a time for some future date when we can do this, and then make sure that we have this strategic planning session announced and included on an agenda at least 24 hours in advance prior to its start.
Yeah, it'd have to be a separate agenda,
Um,
because it'll be a separate meeting.
It, maybe. I think it depends on how it's, I think it
No,
depends.
no.
Because it could be a closed session, sort of. I don't want to say it that way, actually. But anyway, we will do this properly
Okay.
at the time that it's done. And I don't have all the answers to, exactly how it's to be necessarily put out there. And, you know, maybe, I trust you, I mean, I think that doing it in a separate agenda, that's fine.
Yeah, I just trying to make sure
I
we're,
think that would be perhaps the easiest way to go about doing it, so. And I thank everyone for what you do here, your continued service to the library, so that's really what I have. Is there a motion to adjourn?
so moved.
Second, any discussion? We're adjourned. Thanks.
This lady is on her way here.